Hi, Taurus. It's Denise with Divine Soul Astrology, and today I'm here to discuss the new moon. It's your new moon, and it's happening on May 16th. It will be at 8 o'clock, 8:01 Universal Time, and that is 1:01 p.m. here in California. So please check for your own time. So the new moon is exciting. It's always something hopeful. It happens once a month. And typically it does. And so the new moon in your sign will be about something hopeful. You could be planting new seeds. You might have new ideas. The new moon can be a transition about something that you might want, just you're just kind of starting out. But it will be, about Taurian themes. And your themes really are financial stability and possessions and resources, right? Material gain, material comfort is what Taurus is concerned with, and that's okay. It definitely is. It's also concerned with well-being, right? And that is somewhat definitely, related to financial stability, right? It's also about perseverance. Remember that Taurus is the bull and he's determined, right? The bull is determined to, move ahead and knock somebody down, basically, right? At least in Spain, right? But it's also associated with nature and food, and that's a really good thing. And so let's get into this right now. And values. I don't want to forget values because values is important. It is. So we have the new moon in your sign with the sun. Of course, it's always like that. But it is with Mercury, all right? So Mercury is the planet of thinking. It's conjoined here if you are looking at the chart. So Mercury looks like the little student. That's what I like to call him. He has his hat on. He's going off to private school here, right? So here he is, and Mercury wants you to be smart about what seeds you are planting. You could be analyzing, right? Or you could have been analyzing. Mercury rules learning, analysis, plans and goals, skills even. And yeah, it does. And so here's Mercury supporting the new moon, and it will be moving into Gemini, into your second house, just a couple days later, into Gemini. Yeah, a couple days later. And that will be supporting the same themes here. There are very similar themes that will be in your second house, but that will be in Gemini. So Mercury will be moving into your second house, making it very strong, right? That's its home sign. It will be conjoined with Uranus, and this is about the change that you are kind of planting these seeds for. All right. Um, yeah, and so see what else I might have here for you. Um, let's see. And then we have Mercury. Yeah, Mercury's definitely going to be important because we're going to be moving into Taurus, into Gemini season on May 20th, just 4 days after the new moon. All right. So, and we have Mercury here, Taurus, ruling your fifth house of self-expression. This is your house of like living from the heart, your house of authenticity, creative pursuits, self-expression and creative self-expression. It's also love and pleasure, fun and entertainment and hobbies. It is associated with your talents and children. So, this here, we have Mercury here making a square to yeah, there's a square there. It's kind of a loose square, but it is there. And it's making that square to the south node. The south node is what you want to move away from. So there's probably something that you're doing that has to do with your creative, with your self-expression or your creative pursuits. This could be relationship, it might be, but it is the fifth house of love and sex. But when we have the full moon in, or the new moon in your sign, it can be about love because Venus is the ruler as well. But Mercury is squaring that, asking you to make an adjustment about something that has to do with either your self-expression, what you are creating for yourself, because it looks like you want something that will support your well-being or support your financial situation, that can be going on there, right? So the South Node, this is saying leave this alone. Just let go of something. The South Node is associated with the past and what we are supposed to move away from. It can be wounds. It can also be lack. Yeah, and so this is kind of telling you to kind of make an adjustment here. and move away from that, right? Once Mercury moves into your second house into Gemini, things could be way more clear for you as well. They could be, yeah. Mercury in its own sign. All right, and then we have Mars, which represents our will to act. Mars is, um, yeah, let's talk let's just say we're Venus. So Venus also, I left this out, but Venus is ruling your sixth house of work, health, and daily responsibilities. This is your house of obstacles. Yeah, where you're trying to, it is. So with Venus is ruling this here, there's something here that you are definitely, trying to, that is probably associated with your work or something that you're doing on a regular basis, right? It can be health related as well, but something you're doing on a regular basis that you want to change, right? New patterns, new habits, things like that. All right. So now we have Mars. We talked about Mars, or we no, we talked about Mercury, but Mars represents our will to act. It is in Aries, in the sign of the self. It's in your 12th house of endings and release. So with the new moon, you're definitely ending something, because Mars here is also very strong here in Aries because it's in its home sign here. And you're getting over something here that may have to do with self-expression, right? Or, your creative pursuits or whatever you're creating. Creative pursuits could be, I mean, you could be a YouTuber, right? Or you could be anything that you are really creating in your own life because Mars is making that trine there. Mars is making it easy for you to kind of step into your talents or yeah, whatever is authentic to you. All right. Being authentic and work from the heart. Okay. Sometimes we want to stay stable, right? And Taurus doesn't, I have a Taurus moon. Taurus doesn't really want change. They think everything's fine, right? It's all stable, everything's good, and but we have to move into change and because life changes, right? Life has changed. So, um, yeah. And so Mars is also ruling, where does Mars rule as well? Mars is ruling your seventh house of relationships. So, this can have to do something with relationships, but this is also, it's in Scorpio, your seventh house. Mars is ruling that Scorpio. And so this is about shared monies. This can be about, inheritances, but it is about the money that you earn or the money you share with others. This can be a spouse, it can be, stock options, or that can be Leo, a little bit more kind of maybe more gambling. But this rules bonuses, commissions, taxes. Scorpio does, right? So this it's your opposite sign, and this is both. They're both your signs are about money, but just in a different way. Yeah, they are. All right. So mm-hmm. Yeah, you're understanding with the new moon, the things that need to end. You sure are things that need to go. And Pluto, let's look at Pluto here. We have Mercury, smart, very smart Mercury here. Thanks, right? Thanks to Mercury, we have the trine to Pluto. So Pluto is death and rebirth. It's transformation. It is showing up in your house of career, your house of authority and ambition. And this is making it easier for you to achieve something, for you to transform something, to end something, to step out of it, and to start over, to start something brand new. All right, so I hope you enjoyed my video, Taurus. Thanks so much for joining me. Hit the little bell, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the little bell so you can be notified of my next upload. If you want a reading with me, I've got some awesome readings on my website. I'm also a psychic, yes. I used to do a lot of psychic readings over on my tarot channel, and that is listed below in the description box as well. So yeah, if you get a reading, you really learn a lot about yourself. You sure do. It really gets down to it shows the shadow, it shows your gifts. I mean, it's huge. So thanks so much for joining me here, Taurus.